Here's a book that I've been wanting to tell you about for some time now. It's one of those non-fictions that keep you thinking long after you've put it down, and it's obvious why. The book is called The Hidden Life of Trees, and when you're surrounded by trees, you can't help but think, I know a bit more about how you work now. How trees live and communicate is complex and frankly amazing. Did you know that they can send electrical pulses through their roots at a speed of 1/3 of an inch per second? Or that trees and fungi share a symbiotic relationship? The trees provide the nutrients and water to the fungi, and in return the fungi provide a network of communication between tree to tree. And in times of need, such as when an individual tree is fighting off an illness, the surrounding trees will share nutrients with one another through this fungal network in order to keep each other alive. But why would a tree choose to share its precious resources instead of keeping them to itself? I'd always thought that every tree must be in competition with each other, but often that is completely untrue. As everyone knows, there is safety in numbers. The more trees that make up a forest, the more protection a canopy can give from the wind and the sun. Trees will also actively warn their surrounding neighbours of potential threats such as bugs or herbivores, and they can protect themselves in many ways. A couple of my favourite ways are that trees can secrete chemicals into their leaves to make them bitter or poisonous in order to deter a threat, or, and a more gruesome fact, when elms and pines find that their leaves are being eaten by caterpillars, they can send out pheromones that attract parasitic wasps that will actually lay their eggs in the offending caterpillars. As the wasp larvae develop, they will devour the caterpillar from the inside out. Not a pleasant way to go, but you can't argue that it gets the job done. I also apologise if you happen to be eating during this video. It is facts like these that I'm now always thinking about when I go for a walk outside. I think it's just brilliant to know more about this unseen world. Of course, they are just some of the facts that I had to write down while reading this book, but there were plenty more things that I learned throughout the chapters, such as how trees absorb water through transpiration and capillary action, or that fungi can live for hundreds, if not thousands of years. I even found out about the often sad life for a tree that lives in cities or parks. Turns out they may not be as happy as they look. I wanted to make this video because if you're after something different to read, perhaps about the natural world in an area that you may presume is pretty boring, such as trees, you should definitely go and have a look at this book. I just found it to be such an easy and interesting read, with nice short chapters that are best enjoyed in the morning with a cup of tea. Well, that's how I spent most of my time reading it anyway. The style of this video is one that I've been wanting to make for a very long time now, and even if it's turned out half as good as I expected, I'm very proud with how it's turned out. So if you liked it, please let me know below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again in another video. Bye for now.